If there is one particular lesson that we must take from this week's Parashat Beshala'h, that we are reading on this beautiful Shabbat, also named Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of Az Yashir Moshe Uvnei Israel, I believe that the lesson is in the name of the parasha itself. Vahi Beshala'h Paro et ha'am. The word Beshala'h in Hebrew signifies when he sent. And it's actually something that we are very used to in Hebrew. Beshala'h, Shaliyah, Lishloach comes from the word Shlichut, a mission. The Jews realized in this week's parasha that whoever sent them out was not the real person in charge. He was himself just a messenger. He was himself just a puppet from the real sender, from the real boss, from the one who is truly in charge, from Borei Olam. Because in the beginning of the parasha, the outlook is Beshala'h Paro et ha'am. The people, the Am, sees that Paro was the one who sent them out. They heard about the negotiations back and forth between Moshe and Paro. There was an arm wrestling between both men. And even if Paro accepted, he is the one who needed to have the last word. He said, "Get out of my country." But everything is about to change. When the Jews are finally standing in front of the sea, they realize, "Vaya'aminu b'Shem uv'Moshe avdo," that at this point, it was not Paro, it was not even Moshe. It was all about God. It was all him in charge from the very beginning. Through the Shi'abud, through the Makot, and finally now, through the Exodus. And at that moment, they realized that even Moshe, the one that they owe pretty much everything, he is only Moshe Avdo. He is only the servant of God. And this is what the most important message of this week's parasha is about. Beshala'h, everybody is just a messenger. And that applies on a global level just like on the individual level. I know that we all feel so vulnerable. We all feel that things are changing in a way that is just so fast to catch. Between the new government that is going through from resolution to other resolution to pretty much in reverse everything that's been happening in the US. We need to remember that everyone is just a puppet. And on a personal level as well. We are always interacting with people that are good to us, or has v'shalom, the opposite. And we can spend a lifetime trying to seduce and trying to please those who are good to us without realizing that it's not about them. In the end, Borei Olam is in charge. And we can do also the same exact thing. Play the blame game and point fingers at those that we feel are responsible for our problems. But once again, we forget they are only puppets. Beshala'h is that lesson. But it all started from that pasuk. Vayar Yisrael et hayad hagedolah. Vayar means that they saw. They actually put the right glasses on and they saw what is exactly going on. It was all Hashem behind everything. But I have to tell you that today was Tu B'Shvat. And Tu B'Shvat is a stop in our calendar that we cannot miss because it's very cold here in New York City. And the trees look very dead to all of us. And it seems ironic that we, Hachamim, decided to celebrate the holiday of the trees when they are dead, when they are empty. There is no leaf, there is no fruit, there is nothing going on. And Tu B'Shvat is pushing us to make a little bit of reflection, to think about, am I able to read between the lines? Am I able to see the invisible? Because in just a few months from now, those trees are going to have leaves and then fruits. But it all starts today. Can I read that? Can I see it? And when we have those fruits in front of us and we say the berachot with kavanah, thanking Borei Olam for not just giving us one fruit, but a multitude of different shapes, different colors, different flavors, we realize that behind each fruit, there is a mastermind. There is someone that is just so much in charge that we need to always remember of. This was to Bishvat. This is the idea of Beshala'h. And I must say that that's not all. Because our beautiful parasha ends with a very marking episode. We call it Mehyat Amalek. Amalek is our enemy forever and ever until Mashiach comes. What does Amalek try to do? The Pasuk says, Ve'ata ayef ve'yageya ve'lo yare Elohim. We were missing Yirat Shamayim. Amalek comes and attacks us when we miss Yirat Shamayim. What is Yirat Shamayim? Usually we translate that word by fear of God. And it's true. It means fear of God. But the word Yir'ah also means lir'ot. When our outlook, when our approach is wrong, when we can't see God, when we blame each other, when we point fingers at the people responsible for the problems that we have, instead of putting the right glasses on and think, wait, maybe this is a wake-up call from Borei Olam. And how does Amalek do that? How does he remove our perspective? The Pasuk says again, Asher karcha baderech. What an odd expression. Karcha in Hebrew means milashon kor, cold. Amalek makes us cold. He removes our emotions. He removes our feelings. He lets us be superficial. Live a life that is not real. That is just full of games. That is empty of content. And as Jews, our duty is to dig deeper. To dig deeper in the people around us, in the events around us. To look for the invisible. To read between the lines. To find God and to feel Him. To have emotions. The opposite of cold is hot. We are all a hot-blooded people. Not in a bad way. We feel things. We feel joy. We feel emotions. When we do a mitzvah, we mean it. This is the opposite of Amalek. To have a little bit of research. To realize that what we think in first sight may not be the truth. And most importantly, that everyone in this world around us is just a puppet of God. And we need to be there to read the signals and to connect to Him from our hearts. That is the most important lesson of this beautiful parasha. And only then we will be able to sing. We will be able to be grateful. We will be able to connect to Borei Olam and see only good things in our life. Shabbat Shalom U'Barach.